YouTube, it's your boy Gadden, and we're back on gaming. Welcome to my GGC. Without any hesitation, let's get it. What up, gamers? This is the GGC. Welcome, it's your boy Gadden, and in this video we're going to talk about everything regarding the rumors and what I think the Switch 2 is actually going to be. But before we get into that, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, because on this channel not only do I do some sports highlights, simulation football gaming news, but I also will be talking about all types of aspects in gaming. Your boy Gadden is a gamer. I love all types of games, and I'm a Nintendo fan if you didn't know. So just like so many gamers out there, I'm really anticipating the next Nintendo system. And it's always fun to speculate, and I would love to share my experience and my thoughts of what I think this Nintendo Switch 2 system actually might be. So let's dive in. The Nintendo Switch 2, I think and believe it's set to debut sometime around March, maybe in a direct, but it will release at the end of the year to get those holiday sales. Outside of the Switch, all Nintendo systems have been released around the holiday periods, and there's been a lot of reports stating exactly that for the Switch 2. You see, Nintendo always covers, I like to call, the Nintendo parameters for every system. Every system is competing with its last system. Every system is affordable. Nintendo always makes money on every system sold, and Nintendo makes sure that their games runs great on that system. And what will help Nintendo games run really good on the next Nintendo system? Well, how about 120 Hz refresh rate for the display? An individual known as Raja Top presented a link to a Taiwanese economic forum. According to this user, the news platform revealed earlier details on the Nintendo Switch 2 storage, RAM capacity, and display refresh rate. Per the rumored information from the translated version of the forum report, the Nintendo Switch 2 will have 120 Hz refresh rate in its display. That means players will get to enjoy games at a very smooth rate. 120 Hz means the display can actually show 120 frames, much like your PC monitors that go up to 120 frames or 240 frames. I don't think it will be many games that will be utilizing 120 Hz, but you never know, especially with the DLSS technology that's going to be built within the system. I digress on that. I'll speak about that a little bit later. Plus, the battery life is expected to improve greatly compared to the existing Switch model. I do not expect this new Nintendo system to compete directly with your Xbox and your PlayStations. And what exactly do I mean by that is it will not have the raw power of your Xbox Series S or X or your PlayStation 5s. But that doesn't mean it won't run the same games. In fact, I expect a lot more third-party support going to the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Really, the Nintendo Switch is almost as powerful as your Xbox One. Almost. Nintendo loves to create systems that do not take a lot of power, but could definitely punch up. I would not be surprised if Nintendo's next generation system is going to follow that to the T. I'm predicting that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be almost as powerful as your Xbox Series S, but just not there. I know it sounds a little repetitive, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've been playing Nintendo systems forever. With the raw power, even though released later than your PlayStation 5s and your Xboxes, it won't be there, but it's going to be able to run a lot of the same games. It's also reported that the Nintendo Switch 2 will ship with only 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM does sound really tiny, but I can almost guarantee you that 8 gigs of RAM, if the rumor is true, will be more than enough for Nintendo Switch games. What I think is going to be a major component to that 8 gigs of RAM and for games to run smoothly is the software that's going to be embedded within the hardware itself. That deep learning super sampling. We've already seen some Switch games that actually have that software added to the game. And again, it's not going to be a added software update to the system. It's going to be integrated within within the GPU right from day one. And that's going to make a huge difference in running certain games, achieving high frame rates or high resolutions. DLSS is a form of machine learning that uses an AI model to analyze in-game frames and construct new ones, either at a high resolution or in additional to the existing frames. That's from PCMagazine.com. So basically, it's going to take a low resolution image and make it high resolution, not necessarily using high textures, but using AI. And using this form of AI, you're going to need a lot of processing. That's the downside. But I do believe since the DLSS is going to be integrated within the hardware and within the GPU itself, they're not going to need major computing power to do its job. And also, because it's releasing much later than your PlayStation 5s and your Xboxes, you can expect much better RAM, software, all those bells and whistles that the Nintendo Switch had compared to your Xbox Ones and your PlayStation 4s. But remember what I said, the system has to be profitable. So for the system to be profitable and affordable, Nintendo does skip out on some features. It was reported that the Nintendo Switch 2 will have a LED screen instead of an OLED screen. But I do believe Nintendo has invested in the latest and greatest LED software technologies. So I'm really not too worried about that. Nintendo's games are always colorful. I can't imagine Nintendo releasing a system that cannot produce vibrant and dynamic colors. Also, the system is reported to only ship with 64 gigs of storage. Now that's a bummer. That's not too cool. 64 gigs is like maybe what, 2 games nowadays, or just 1 game if you're thinking about Call of Duty or something like that. And a lot of games are not compressed, but when they make whatever games for the Nintendo Switch, they do compress the data a lot. But even with that being said, you're only going to be able to save maybe 2 or 3 games within your system itself. But that's if the rumor is true. More than likely, there will be storage upgrade options just like the Switch. Micro SD cards are on sale right now. They're very cheap. So I'm thinking I'll be investing in that whenever it comes out. You can expect the price range to be from anywhere from $300 to maybe at the very most $450. And that's my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2, on the rumors and what I'm actually expecting as a longtime Nintendo fan. But as a kicker, when the majority of gamers is expecting Nintendo to do something, Nintendo always goes left field and do something completely different. So also, that might actually happen. Keep that in the back of your minds. If you're still around, let me know what you think about all these Switch 2 rumors. Do you think there's any validity in it? Do you think the Switch 2 is basically going to be an evolution of the Switch's form factor? Let me know in the comments section below. Gamers, remember, keep on gaming. This is your boy Geddon, and I'm out of here.